Yo, what's up, peeps? It's your boy King, NBA 2K20. This game, there's one thing about this game. There's actually two major issues, but it's one major issue is the culprit for all of it, and that's translation of difficulty. That portion of the game and that issue within the game is absolutely game breaking. That, in my opinion, makes this game almost to being unplayable. Like, some would say, I would even say that it is unplayable. Like, you can't, there is no way you're ever going to get a simulation game of basketball out of this game. There's just no way. It is done. Like, they put this shit out. They have systems in this game to purposely create this challenge at the expense of breaking immersion. They go through such lengths to keep the CPU in the game. It is ridiculous and it is downright disgusting, man. You see Robert Covington get this steal on his own. All he have to do is continue to the basketball, and then he just stops. Then he just stops and allows Jrue Holiday to recover this ball. Shit like this is unacceptable. Shit like this is the reason that I make these videos. And shit like this is the reason why I believe that they don't care about this game. And it is the reason why I am so far past just the suits and just the higher-ups having their hand in the game. They don't have their hand in this game. I shit you not. This is Zard. This is Scott OG. This is the gameplay designers. This is developers. This is the developers' fault. There's no way. There's no fucking way a higher-up, a suit, an investor gives a fuck about this. Like, this is something that Zard, not even a Zard, this is whoever, because he's not in charge of the gameplay department. This is whoever the fuck is in charge of gameplay. This is their fault. This has nothing to do with the higher-ups. This has nothing to do with it. No, it's just not the case. This is shitty. This is incompetence when it comes to creating a system within a game to challenge the user. There is better ways you can do this, and it was done better in previous 2K games. Like, they started really hamming this on right around NBA 2K17. You got all these fucking suction screens. You got animations fucking shifting all over the goddamn place. You got the CPU recovering 90% of the fucking loose balls in the game. And you're supposed to call this a sim, and I'm supposed to think this is a sim, and you're gonna sit here and charge me $60 to $100 fucking dollars for this game. You know, don't even promote the sim aspect of this game. Don't say shit about simulation basketball. Look, if you motherfuckers want to go focus on Park, if you motherfuckers want to focus on Pro-Am, like, if you motherfuckers want to focus on, like, the 2K League, focus on that. If you need to, leave this fucking portion of the game out. Like, don't release it this bad. Because all you do is you put people like me in a situation who love the game of basketball and have been playing basketball video games for years. And you put a person like me in a situation like that to where you're the only basketball game in town. The only basketball game in town. So if I want to play a game of basketball, I have to pick this shit up. And I have to just sort like it. That's a joke, man. It's a joke. They're fully taking advantage of the fact that there is no competition around. And I used to think that wasn't the case. I used to think like, nah, I think I think it's maybe some problems I'm way past that. Like, I'm pretty sure this is solely on the fact that there's no fucking competition around, and they don't have to upgrade this. Like, they don't have to upgrade this portion of the game. They're spreading themselves thin because they're spending so much fucking time on Pro-Am. They're spending so much time on fucking 2K League. They're spending all this time developing for these other modes. Patches and updates come throughout the fucking days, throughout the months and shit like that, and very rarely do they have anything to do with the offline 5v5 gameplay, because this was always the bread and butter of NBA 2K, because it is a fucking NBA basketball game. NBA. It's on the cover. What's the NBA? The NBA is basketball, organized professional fucking basketball. You cannot get this right. You can't get this right. The shit that's on the cover The park, like, who? Come on, man. That's not a fucking part of the NBA. That's just a bunch of creative players running around the court doing unrealistic shit, man. If I wanted to play that, I would fucking boot up the PS2 and play NBA Street, man. Nobody wants to play that shit. I don't want to play that shit. I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna play park. That's just that. Like, I mean, it's a joke, dude. Like, why the fuck is a mode like that even in the game outside of to siphon as much money out of a user's wallet as possible? These motherfucker YouTubers are so stupid, dude. Like, they come here and they praise this damn game year after year after year. And it's not even the YouTubers that's stupid. It's the fucking users, the little kids and shit that's thinking that you're going to build these builds and you're going to end up making like 4 or 5 different builds and you're going to pay 2K like fucking 6 or 7 times over. Some people spend so much money on this goddamn game with builds and making builds. Like, it's nothing for the YouTubers because they're going to make it back on the video. But what about Timmy? You know, what about Timmy gets his Christmas money? He gets about $200 Christmas money. He spends it all on a fucking game. One game, NBA 2K. That's a joke to me, dude. Like, that's just a joke, man. That's the sole reason why my park even exists, dude. Is they needed a way to gouge people's wallets, man. They absolutely needed a way. And I saw this shit coming in NBA 2K13 when they first introduced VC. You had to go to the park. When you wanted to play Blacktop, you had to unlock fucking players with VC. Now that the servers are off on those games, you just can't unlock the players now. You ever go back and play NBA 2K14? All of those goddamn players are locked behind a VC wall, so there's just no chance you could get them now. There's no chance. So people who want to play actual Blacktop on the goddamn 2K14 can't because they're locked behind VC. Like, come on, man. They've been looking for a way to monetize this game, and this is how they are where they are now financially. Is because they found that way. Excellent business strategy, but this has hurt the game so much, dude. This has hurt the game so much. Like, they're putting this shit out just so they can just say that they got this shit out. Like, there's no. Like, this shit hasn't been good. This portion of the game hasn't been good in a long time. It just hasn't been good. It hasn't been basketball. It hasn't replicated the sport. You have a motherfucker. Think about this. You purchase this game, then you have to wait to get it, to get the best. I'm playing the absolute best version of NBA 2K right now. I'm playing the absolute best version of 2K right now. Like, with the best roster out and the best slider set out. Like, and it's still not a simulation game of basketball. So you mean to tell me this game comes out in fucking late September or early September, I forget, and then you have to wait months for a guy to test and test and test to create a roster and create sliders just for it to end up not being a simulation game of basketball anyway. Like I said, NBA is on the fucking cover of the if you want to make this shit, don't make this shit, dude. Just call a game just 2K my part. Like, just don't, man. Like, I'd rather them not make it than put out half-ass shit like this, dude, because this is unacceptable, dude. This is unacceptable. There is no fucking way Robert Covington would ever do this in real life. This looks stupid, and this is completely immersion-breaking. Completely immersion-breaking. The shit that you don't even want to continue the game, man. Look, man, I'm not going to... Look, I already kept y'all 8 minutes, man, but this shit... This is the reason why I make videos. Because shit like this just can't go... I mean, you can't sweep this shit under the rug, dude. You can't sweep this under the rug, man. It's absolutely a joke, man. Peace out, peace, man. It's Baby Boy King. Later. Yo, what's up, peace, man? It's your boy King. NBA 2K20. More AI buffoonery. You know, this is the problem that I have with this fucking game, man. Why is this shit happening when the CPU gets on a run? It's one thing if it varied between like different times in the game, but it does not, dude. Like, it just, this is only happening when the CPU is getting on a run, man. It's going on a run mode, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you're crazy if you think James Harden would try to come off a floppy screen and do some shit like this, man. Go out of bounds and then try to come, like, come on, man, dude. It's just a joke at this point. Like I said, I can't believe this is real, man. I can't believe they put out something like this. You know, so since it's the fourth quarter, you know, and they're down by 2 or 4 or something like that, you know, they just made a major run, and, you know, the CPU is always shooting like above 60% in the fourth quarter. You know, nothing you could do. Then I'm robbed right here, trying to protect the ball. You know, I mean, this is how they translate difficulty, man. Like, I mean, it's just a joke, man. This is the game that, you know, this is what we have to pay $60 for. This is what people who want sim basketball have to pay $60 for. It's just a joke, man. And again, dude, it seems like I'm nitpicking, but you have to think and think to yourself, when the hell have you ever seen this happen in an actual game of basketball? You have to like think, when have you ever seen this happen in any previous 2Ks out before NBA 2K16? When have you ever seen this happen? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Why he would take this angle, I have no idea. Like, why he would, and you know, just the ice on the cake, I'd give him the ball and just get robbed immediately trying to make a move. You know, it is what it is with that. I'm not tripping too hard about that because the ball was exposed. But it, you know, just what it came to. This is what it's come to, peeps. It's just come to just buffoonery from the AI, just anything to get, just anything to try to create that fake challenge. You know, it's just a shame. It's a shame that this is what these games have resorted to, man. Like, look, I'm not finna sit up here and say somebody should be fired, man, but some repercussions should happen, man. Like, based on some repercussions should happen, man, to somebody, because you just can't put shit out here like this, man. You just cannot put this type of shit out here on the goddamn market and charge what they're charging for it. They can't, man. Like, that just doesn't sit well with me personally. You know, we like everything I'm talking about in from 2015 is we pay $60 for this fucking game. They charge $60 for this game. You know, the park guys and shit, but can you really blame the park guys, man? Because like, I mean, it's just, this is probably the only thing, you know, I mean, this shit isn't even worth playing anymore, to be honest with you. Like, this portion of the game isn't even worth playing. Like, the only reason I'm playing it personally is because a new roster is out. Tyno 14 put a roster out, made the game tenfold better, but that's not saying much because the game was just so already in the dumps, you know. And without this, just what we're dealing with. Like, so you can you really blame the park guys for gravitating over the park? Because I mean, this shit is trash. Like, this portion of the game is fucking trash. Like, it's just like, the only reason I put up with it, and the only reason like any of us put up with this shit, is because it's the only game in town that's playable. It has just stuff like this just breaks the fucking game. Because, like, don't get me wrong, it had hella potential to be great. Like I said, 2K, there was one of those games that one or two things they'll have that'll just be absolutely game breaking. You know, animation shifting, loose ball cheese, you know, and I count this as animation shifting and stuff like this. Like, this, it seems like it's just, I don't know what the hell was going on right here. They just start bothering animation so much and try to translate it as defense. It's just a joke. You know, what I was thinking about, man, I was thinking about going in the roster and doing it manually and just removing badges from everybody, man. Like, because like I feel like the badges have a lot to do with stuff like this, because he has this lockdown defender badge. You know, James Harden has to play stupid on offense. You know, I mean, it's just a joke, man. I ain't gonna keep going into it. Anyway, peace out, peace, man. It's your boy King. Later. Yo, what's up, peace, man? It's your boy King. NBA 2K20. All of this shit is in like the same. I legit put together like 3-4 clips, you know, in a compilation, like of the same game. All of this shit is happening in the same game. Like, now you see the issue. Like, these are not one-offs, and the reason I wanted to do this was to let you all know, like, and let these developers know, or whoever may watch this, like, this shit is not a one-off. These shenanigans, as Gideon will put it, man, just the pure AI buffoonery, man. Like, this is consistent throughout the game. Like, look at this, man. Look at this. Just look at it, man. Like, does that play make any sense to you all? First of all, think about this. Let's think about this, what Drew Holiday did right here. You know, he was able to shift. He canceled the animation and basically just shift, and he was to where he could be in closer position to James Harden. You know, I mean, this is just the lengths that the AI is going through to just fuck you over at every and any corner that they can do. Like, because the game is close, because we're on a run, like, It's ridiculous, man. I mean, and look, you definitely can. This is on Hall of Fame, okay? So I make these videos on Hall of Fame because Hall of Fame is the highest difficulty level, and I know the czar says like, hey, don't play on Hall of Fame and this and that, but bruh, this shouldn't be. This should not be the thing, man. This should not be like this, dude. I guess we're supposed to think of Hall of Fame as more of an insane mode, but come on. Come on, man. That's not what the fuck their intentions was with that. It was supposed to be the highest difficulty level because they lock certain shit behind the Hall of Fame level. If you're really paying attention to what these guys are saying, last year, you know, around the same time, what was it, 19 or 18, around the same time, right? They were telling us like, oh, this is more of an insane mode. You know, you don't play on Hall of Fame. You know, you play on All Star, but they'll turn around and tell slider makers and tell you shit like, hey man, you know, like you can't get the full experience unless you play on Hall of Fame. The CPU's not gonna get into his offense, and it's not gonna make adjustments the same way unless it's on Hall of Fame. So I mean, that's just completely contradictory. So one moment you're telling me that I shouldn't play on Hall of Fame because it's really more of an insane mode, and Superstar and All-Star would be better suited, you know, for a realistic basketball experience. But then you turn around and tell me that the AI is not going to make adjustments and have the good decision making, you know, and basically like get into their offense and make adjustments, and they're not going to do that on Hall of Fame unless it's on Hall of Fame. Excuse me. That's just complete contradictory, man. That lets me know that these guys don't know what the hell they doing, man. They're just going through the motions here and hoping for the best, man. God damn, man. Like, what kind of shit is this, dude? Like, come on. But anyway, peace out, peace, man. It's Boy King. Later. Yo, what's up, peace, man? It's your boy King. NBA 2K20. Speed differences, man, they mean nothing in this game. You know, we all know Westbrook is just basically a fucking F1 Formula series out there. Up and down the goddamn court, you know. Now we look at JJ Redick, and I know JJ Redick, all people. We shouldn't even have to look this up, but come on, like we shouldn't even have to look this up, man. But we doing it for sake of proof, just in case somebody important looks at this video up at 2K, important within the confines of 2K, and maybe developers and maybe the czar sees this, you know, 76 speed, right? So this is speed. This is without the ball. So, you know, this is just how it starts, man. This is how the CPU starts to run. You know, I'm Russell Westbrook. Zion gets out on the floor. I'm Russell Westbrook. I am turboing down the floor. Right ahead, you see JJ Redick. I should have been already almost caught up with JJ Redick with that speed difference, but no. Barely faster than him. Barely can beat Brandon Ingram down the floor, you know. But I'm a 95 speed with Russell Westbrook, though. He showed didn't feel like a 95 speed in this instance here, man. This is why. Now I'll be 100 with you, man. This is the exact reason why. Let me show you this one more time. Matter of fact, let me run it back for you. Show it to you again. I showed you the stats. And it's not me bruising up against Brandon Ingram. In fact, I should have matter of fact, let's go back here and look at Brandon Ingram's speed. Let's go back here and look at Brandon Ingram, man. Because I'm pretty sure I'm faster than Brandon Ingram up the floor. Just normal speed. 84. So, yes, Westbrook is like 11 points higher than him, which is a pretty big gap. A noticeable gap, man. But yet, go back to the footage. Let's go back and show the footage, man. But yet, can't keep up, barely can keep up with JJ Redick, who is a fucking 76. I think I showed it. He might have been like a 76, 78 speed or something. Trash out there at the 2-guard spot, slow. Now, this is why, if you're going to play this game, and this is my mistake, because I'm playing with Tyno 14 roster, you know, this game around. And it's pretty good other than these. He have this evened out, right? So, Shady Mike always does this, and that's why his sliders, as far as speed and everything, usually feels a little bit better. You know, he takes this and puts this up to 60. you know, above the AI, you know. That way, that should keep things in check a little bit more, because what Shady did, and this is what I like, why I like Shady Mike so much for slider creation, man, is because he's the only one that has basketball in mind. Like he's the only slider maker that I've seen so far, and that could be others out there, but he's the only slider maker that understands basketball. He played basketball in high school, and he just breathes the game of basketball. So the numbers and the inputs that he have on his slider set always basically, you know, reflects him trying to make the game play as much like actual NBA basketball as possible, man. You know, like the jump shot defense strength, he has that like at 5 apiece, and I understand exactly why. You know, now in this roster, I up it a little bit higher because like still trying to get, he's in beta testing with his set right now, so he's still trying to get it, the shooting percentages proper and stuff. So you know, I'm playing with Tylenol's Shady Mike hybrid sliders that he put out, you know, with the roster, you know, and the roster is amazing, you know. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason I'm actually playing this game right now, the only reason you see me on this game right now is because of Tylenol 14's roster. That's the only reason. If I didn't have this roster, I would not be playing this game. He saved this game for me. It still got a lot of the shenanigans going on, but they're toned down a hell of a lot because of that roster. You know, the game would have been unplayable, absolutely unplayable. Like because the stuff that I'm showing you in the videos where like it's not happening so much. You know, like some of those videos are like on a backlog I had before I stopped playing. You know, before I start playing with this roster, because this roster just released probably like 3 weeks ago, probably. So, like, you know, I got a lot of videos that I'm going to upload on a backlog, man, because these things need to get out, because we should not have to go through and fix a whole roster and fix the game for it to be playable in 2K sense. And it doesn't even fix it 100%. Like, you still have the CPU loose ball cheese. From time to time, there's still animation shifting and stuff like that in the damn game. You know, no way. Like, there's no way you're going to tell me I'm going to pay $60 for a goddamn game and I'm gonna have to fix it too. Like, come on, man. Like, that's the reason why I say, like, I'm at the point to where it's like, I ain't trying to hear shit them developers talking about, dude. Like, look, I like the Czar as a person. I watch his Sim Hangout podcast. He's a good dude. But look, man, I'm being charged $60, sometimes $100 for a game that I have to get, and then a guy has to take months out of his day, out of a game, out of his time, in a game that he pays $60 to $100 for, to adjust the roster and adjust the sliders just to get it to play like a simulation game of basketball. Because like this, the speed difference is unacceptable. That's default, people. The speed was on default, in the movement sliders down with the acceleration and speed, that was on default. So you know that, come on, peeps. Like there's no absolute goddamn reason JJ Redick should be, Westbrook shouldn't have caught up with JJ Redick, because it's not me sliding on Brandon Ingram. Like, I'm actually beside Brandon Ingram right now, and I can't even pass and bring in Brandon Ingram right now. Like, it's just no way, dude. There's just no way with stuff like that. That's why, like I showed you, you go in there, you put that up to 60. Always put that speed higher, because if you don't do that, the AI is gonna jerk you when it comes to these fast breaks, and they're going to start forcing a lot of fast breaks that aren't really theirs, because they're starting to up player speed ratings that don't deserve to be upped, man. But anyway, peeps, man, it's your boy King. I'm about to get up out of here. Later.